This is one thing that, it's always been $4,000, and you see that I put $5,000 in there. The reason why I did that, Mike Wright's one of the deputy chiefs with the Guilford County Fire Marshal's Office, and I don't know, Mike, if you talked to him, if he's called you, but this wasn't all that long ago, and it's always been $4,000, but because of the economy, I've asked him, hey, you gonna go up on that or what? He goes, well, Ron, we really think 4,000 would be good. We just don't know because we don't handle this until around June. So to be on the safe side, we went ahead and put $5,000. I know the county's trying to spurs. I really don't know. He said probably 4. We put in 5. If you want to put it back to 4, that's fine. But we just don't know until the county, unless Michael or Daniel, you've gotten a call from Mike and they said it's going to be this amount.
What does this entail?
Well, when they come out, when the inspectors come out, they inspect businesses. They'll come inspect this building, inspect other buildings as well, and also investigate just in case there is a structure involved that's been on fire and they have to come out and investigate it, like a building like this one here, maybe the maintenance shop down there. But it's mainly just those normal inspections that they do, depending upon type occupancy that it is.
How much have we spent in the past?
That's what I was gonna say,
Oh,
it's in a lot lower.
they-
This is worst case scenario budgeting.
Yeah, there's actually, if I'm not mistaken, a cap in the contract that caps it at a certain amount. So that's the cap.
Is it 4 or, you know, I don't,
It's 4 sounds about right. I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly where it is in there.
well, do you feel, I mean, do you want to do this, do you want to change it back to 4 now?
Well, I think we can look at that cap and make the adjustment
Okay.
based on that. It does range because one thing that has happened is that commercial properties get more inspections. So as we have more commercial property, more inspections are being done. They have not come back yet this year and made any requests for a change to that contract. But there is a standard set. I do have a question, and I don't know if you can answer it or not. Do you know, in the city of Greensboro, do they charge the business owners for inspections?
That's what I was wondering too.
No, no. The answer is no, that's taxpayer money, but last July, they started, if you set up a canopy, a tent, some oddball type inspection, or something like that, they began charging. They charge $60. So if you wanted to set up a canopy at, say it's 10,000 square foot canopy, which falls in that category, it has to be inspected, the city's gonna come out and charge $60. And if it, my understanding is, if it fails, and have to come out again, that's another $60. They started doing that last year. The county, though, does not do that. But the city has, unless they're looking, the county's gonna look at doing something like that.
Why do they charge us then? Why do they charge us? Don't we pay a tax for a fire?
Yeah, but
It's a separate, the fire marshal is separate from the fire district. Fire district is the Summerfield Fire Department.
Right.
Fire marshal is.
So these people don't do it down here. They
No,
don't have
they're not
anybody.
doing it.
no, it's
Comes out of the
all,
fire marshal's office.
yeah, just so you know, everybody in the county, it's by Guilford County Fire Marshal's office, does inspections.
Interesting.
Just get off this, Michael, have you heard anything about Guilford County wanting to do something different as far as the disbursement of fire tax money with the towns? Have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything regarding that.
Chris can probably fill you in. They have a specially called meeting, all the fire chiefs got to go before the county commissioners, that's what they're discussing.
Right now, they do it on a per diem basis.
Yeah, they're
Or at the
I
law
think
basis.
county commissioners want to change that, so, how it's done. Not necessarily that money would come back here and you give it to the fire department, but it deals something within the town, and he's gonna find out more, but just so you know. That's that. Mailings, I think it's the same amount we put in last year, $1,300, just in case we want to come with a bunch of either surveys or public safety type information. Honestly, that's probably one of the things we probably could cut back on. We put in $1,300 for that. Per diem travel, that's always been $50. I don't think anybody with the public safety committee is gonna be looking to get any type of reimbursement back. Not unless, Michael, you guys wanna send us to Hawaii, we'll do that.
You
Or
won't
it's
make it.
$50.
If it doesn't wanna do it, but, and on some zeros of that, right? But we left that in there just as a catch-all, so to speak. Animal shelter, we left it 0, and animal control, that, I think last year we put in $200, we had put $300 more in. The reason for that, and I know the animal shelter control issue came up at the last town meeting, I didn't say much because when we were looking at this, I've been to some meetings through the county health department in the past, mainly about rabies and issues like that, and it is so confusing what I think they know what they want to do, but they can't get much back from the county to do it. But one of the questions, I had was, what happens, and I talked to one of the animal shelter supervisors, or actually animal control, just from talk a while back, and I said, what happens if a mad dog jumps out on the park down here and bites somebody and it's found as rabies? Or what happens if a black bear, they've had black bear, they had one up in Stokesdale sightings not too long ago, but the same scenario, sheriff's department comes out, they shoot the bear, shoot the dog or whatever, and I didn't have time before I turned this in to ask you, Michael, would there be a charge to the town of Summerfield if animal control came out? Because they told me, yeah. We'll come out, we'll handle the bear, we'll handle the dog or whatever, but they couldn't answer my question, is there a charge?
The situation that we're under right now is Guilford County and the town of Summerfield and all the other municipalities have a contract with Guilford County. It dates back to, I believe, 2000, that charged a fee for animal control and the animal shelter based on a per capita basis.
Okay.
They put that into effect 1 year, and when they did the math, it was a ridiculous amount of money. Brian, do you remember that? It was a ridiculous amount of money per animal that they were supposedly, doing work on. They then, when they changed from the per capita to the ad valorem method of the sales distribution, they essentially granted an ongoing grant that they didn't charge us those fees. They basically absorbed that cost back. This year, we've received letters from the county stating that they are not going to do that this year, and that they are going to charge us for it. The question that we have, and then once the initial brouhaha got going, we haven't heard anymore, which is whether there's any traction from the county commissioners to put that back in place. This was all staff level driven from the manager and the environmental health department, or the health department. The county is responsible for rabies and vicious dogs under state statute. What the county is trying to do right now, and not just in animal control, but throughout their organization, is only do those things that are required by state law. So what that would mean is that they would only provide rabies and vicious dog services, and then pass along all the other costs for all the other animal reports and the animal shelter, all the jurisdictions on a per capita basis. They would add up everyone, add up the costs, do the math. And it works out right now to be about $3.16 for one service and like $3.24 for the other service. Combined, it comes out to about $50,000 to the town of Summerfield. Now, again, there's a lot of questions about that, and they haven't really provided any additional information, because I think the county commissioners are actually looking at it themselves. The questions that we have is, of course, what if it is a rabies? What's decided to be a rabies case? If the person calls up and says, "I think there's a rabies fox," they come out, they can't find the fox. Is that a rabies call, or is that just a general call? They said that there were over 300 calls of that sort in Summerfield last year, which seems kind of high, but they're the ones doing the reporting, so it's kind of hard to know for sure.
I was told at a meeting a year and a half ago, and just recently, that the northwest area of Guilford County, they mentioned Summerfield, Stokesdale, Oak Ridge is the highest call count in the entire county.
I'm not surprised,
And
because
they've
that's
had
true.
black bears up at